Today we're gonna make chicken fricassee. It's a French dish. It's one of my favorite chicken dishes. Here's all the ingredients. Let's get into prepping them right now. We'll go over all the ingredients. It's 12 ounces of mushrooms. You can use more or less if you like. 2 medium carrots that I just kind of roughly chopped. Celery, same amount, about 2 stalks. Both of these look like to be about a cup. 1 medium onion that I diced up. That's a little finer than the veggies, but you can do this any way you want. We're gonna put a little garlic in there too. I basically just minced 3 cloves. Parsley is gonna finish the dish at the end. The sauce flavor comes from the white wine. We're gonna put a cup of white wine and we have 3 cups of low sodium chicken stock. You wanna make sure you're using low sodium chicken stock because we're gonna reduce this, so it's gonna get further concentrated and it'll just be too salty if you start with something very salty. We're gonna have a half a cup of cream and we're gonna have 2 egg yolks in the sauce. So we're gonna temper it at the end. If you don't wanna do the tempering with the egg yolks, I would recommend probably doubling the amount of cream. So you can do one or the other. The butter, and we'll use a little bit of olive oil too, is gonna be used to sear the chicken. We have a little bit of flour that's gonna further help thicken the sauce, and then some herbs. I have 1 bay leaf here, have about 4 or 5 sprigs of thyme, and I have about 3 sprigs of parsley. I have chicken thighs and chicken legs. This dish traditionally is done with a whole chicken cut up. Feel free to do that. But I like to use just the thighs and the legs. They're dark meat because you cook them over 165. They'll stay tender. You can do this in any pan you want, really. Make sure you have something big enough though to fit in 3 to 4 pounds of chicken and then 4 cups of liquid because there's 3 cups of chicken stock, there's a cup of wine, so it's a lot. So I'm gonna heat up the pan to medium heat. We're gonna sear the chicken. Now, since I'm using a stainless steel pan, I'm gonna let it heat up for about 3 minutes before I put down my oil, butter, and start searing the chicken. I'm gonna season my chicken with salt and pepper. I'm gonna put a lot of salt, pepper. Chicken is bland, it needs flavor. I'm gonna put the oil down first, guys, not the butter, because the butter will start burning a little too much. Going down with it. Gonna do about 5 minutes on one side, skin side down, and then about 3 minutes on the other side. And you can do a little test with your butter. Just use a tiny bit to see what happens, all right? That looks good. So it wouldn't be French cooking if we weren't using butter. So we gotta put butter in there. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. Let's check it out. And then look at the beautiful color that we have on it right there, okay? So that's exactly what you want. And you smell the butter, smells so good. All right, gonna let this go for about 3 more minutes and then we'll do our legs. So I'm gonna put down the veggies in here. You can put them all at the same time. And we're gonna cook these until they get soft, so probably about 6, 7, 8 minutes, around there. So it's been about 7 minutes. That's how they look. Gonna turn the heat up, maybe a touch to a little bit more than medium, and then we're gonna put our mushrooms in. And we'll cook these mushrooms until they release some of their liquid. They're not gonna get super brown here. That's all right. Smells so good. I'm gonna season with a tiny bit of salt, but you really gotta be careful with this. We're gonna reduce the liquid, and even the low sodium chicken base that I'm using, you know, it says it's 25% less sodium than normal. If you want to have real low sodium, you know, you make it yourself. So I'm just using like, I don't know, a pinch. And then I'm gonna put the garlic in. All right, so that garlic, I can smell it, really smells wonderful. I'm gonna let it cook for about a minute in here. Our veggies are nice and soft. Everything is getting nice. I love this dish. So I have a 1/4 cup of flour here. You could probably get by with a little less than that, but we'll put it in. Mix that all in. 1 cup dry white wine. I'm using Chardonnay. You can use Sauvignon Blanc, any dry white wine. Don't use an oaked one, so meaning that it was made in oak. You don't want that. And then 3 cups of our low sodium chicken stock. You put them both in at the same time, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna bring this up to a boil right now. So, about an 8, 9 out of 10. And we're gonna take our wooden spoon and we're gonna dislodge all of those flavor bits. There you go, it's boiling, it's been about a minute. I'm gonna add in all the chicken. Next time, you know what, you might be better off putting that in a plate so you can get some of those juices. I think a lot of my juices are on the table over there. But I'm gonna put the chicken now, get the legs in, it doesn't matter which side because there's skin on all sides, and then the thighs you can leave skin side up. Your parsley and the thyme, you can tie this up. Let this go for about 3 to 5 minutes boiling like this, then we're gonna lower it down to a simmer and we're gonna cook the chicken. And we're gonna partially cover it. This is a 14-inch pan. If you don't have a 14-inch lid, just use some foil and partially cover it. What that's gonna do is it's gonna allow evaporation to occur, but not massive evaporation. If I leave it uncovered the whole time, it's gonna reduce probably a little too much. Also, the chicken will get a little bit better cooked on the top side too by covering it partially. So let me go find a lid. I'm going to leave it cracked about 1 inch. So we're gonna let it go for about 30 minutes and turn that chicken legs about halfway through. One thing I forgot to tell you, so this, depending on the size of your pan here, you wanna have enough liquid. So if you have to add a little bit more stock or you could just add water, you want it close to the top of the chicken here, just like I have it. Then about halfway, move the chicken legs, turn them over. We're gonna need at least 20 more minutes. What you can do as you get towards the end, we can prepare our egg yolk cream for the tempering. We're just gonna separate 2 egg yolks. Just hit it on the bottom of the plate and then just open it up and just let all of the egg white fall into the plate right here, and then just save your egg yolk. Oh, and these eggs are room temperature. So just leave them out while you're prepping your other ingredients. And I have a 1/2 cup of cream. With the amount of flour I have here, I probably only need about 1/4 cup. I'm mixing that 1/4 cup of cream now with the 2 egg yolks. Leave it off to the side so the heat of this pan doesn't, scramble it. It's been about 30 minutes, maybe a tiny bit more. If you want to check your chicken to make sure it's about 175, go in like the deepest thigh. So this one's pretty big right here. So just get it into the thickest part of the thigh without touching the bone, and then you'll know. So like, see it right away, that goes up to like 180. It's perfect. So let's get them out. Here is our beautiful chicken. So good, you just eat it like that, it's great. Now listen, if your sauce is really thin here, which is a possibility, then I recommend you turn your heat up high and you reduce it. And that's how I have the recipe written, but this is fairly thick already. So I'm not gonna reduce here. What I am gonna do is I'm going to temper the cream and egg yolk. You know what, you wanna help me? Yeah. Okay, here, come over here. I'm gonna get some help from my wife. Can you take a couple spoons of this and put it in there? Just to start, we're gonna start with only 1 tablespoon. And I'm just gonna whisk it.
Does it matter if there's like
there could be pieces. And then just keep doing this until you put about a 1/2 cup worth of the hot liquid into here. Basically, it's gonna make the temperature of this increase, so when we put it back in there, it won't be any scrambling. And then I'm gonna put this now back in here. So again, it's on 3 out of 10. It's not boiling right now. And then we'll just mix it all in, and hopefully we won't scramble it up, but we're good. If you don't want to go through the process of doing that, you could put heavy cream in and it will be 90% as good. Like 80% is good. I think the egg yolk makes it better though. You taste the sauce and you let me know. It needs pepper, but not salt.
It's really so good.
It's delicious already.
It's like the fall.
Yeah. So I think definitely a good amount of pepper.
Yeah. I don't, definitely no salt.
No salt.
It's like perfect.
And then we'll put the parsley in. Save a little bit for garnish. And guys, you put the chicken back in and let it cook for just a couple minutes to warm that chicken through, though the chicken is very, very warm already. Hello, Mr. Taste Tester.
Hi.
Did you smell this going on here? Like,
Actually, I did.
you didn't. Do you smell it? Do you smell it now? The room?
Not really.
Not really, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I'm smelling.
Why don't you take an introductory taste of the sauce?
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm gonna cut you the chicken. What do you think of that?
It kind of tastes like gravy.
Gravy?
Thanksgiving gravy. You put like a lot of pepper into it.
I did. Did you like it? Are you appreciative of the pepper?
Yeah, I like it. So there's carrots,
Celery, mushrooms. Now I know it's not pasta. Okay, can I try?
You're right, it's not pasta.
And I don't want to have an effect on him. I want his honest opinion, but I think it's amazing.
Where'd you get this bread from?
Mama got it from Uncle Giuseppe's.
Thank you, Mom.
What do you think?
It's like bread.
No, I know that. What do you think of it?
It's really good. I think it's you know, like my favorite fall dish is usually like short ribs.
Yeah.
Or like a beef stew. This is very close to that.
Well, we're not taking ratings from you, but you think it's really good, right?
I think it's delicious.
What do you think, pal?
Okay, I really like the way it's seasoned, like the pepper and stuff. I don't know what else you put in it, but I like the sauce, but it's definitely not like one of the best things you've made, and I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
You can give it an 8.
I'll give it an 8.5.
Oh, it's harder for me to make the half heads. All right, thanks,
He's
buddy.
like, I'm gonna give you an 8 and 2
Yeah, an 8 and 7/8.